Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to a new episode of For the Love of Writing. Rob Novell, and your host, as usual. I love this so much. I am here with James Garnett, new guest on. Hey, welcome, man. Welcome to For the Love of Writing.
So glad to be here. Two thumbs up, buddy.
I'm very happy to have you on. I was so worried because I was like, I can't message him because I tried to message you, but I couldn't get you on Messenger. And then I was like, I'm gonna have to send him my email or something to the comments. I was like, we got to make it work somehow. But I want
Technology
to.
sucks, right?
Oh, technology is horrible. It drives me nuts. It's a blessing and a curse.
I hear you.
I'm gonna start this like I always do. Everybody that watches it knows the two questions I ask. I love these two questions. How old were you when you started writing, and what got you into it?
Okay, that's a great question. And I'm 56 now, but when I started writing, honestly, I was about 7 years old, and my pop snapped a picture of me that he sent me, and I have sitting above my writing area of me writing my vampire, crude, childish vampire stories when I was like 7 years old. And he saw something in me and went out and bought a secondhand Remington typewriter, the old manual typewriters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I still have that same typewriter in the case in my attic. And I was typing vampire stories all the way back then at 7 years old. Like I said, I still have them in my attic. And so the bug bit me really early. And it never left, and yeah. In about 2001, my wife, who I'd been married to since 1989, finally said, I kept saying to her after I got out of college, getting my master's degree, I said, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. And finally she flipped her cork and said, you know
Wait,
what?
did you just say you got your master's?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. And what?
I got my bachelor's in business administration, and then I went right into my master's in human resources administration. Graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, I graduated on the dean's list in 2001.
Congratulations.
But she got sick of me saying I want to write a book, and she finally flipped and said, you know what, you want to write a book so bad, go down and do it. My writing area at that time was in the basement in our unfinished laundry room. So you know what? I did exactly that. I went down and sat at my, big old computer with, the old desktops with the CRT cathode ray tubes. I went down there and I sat and didn't use any other thing but a word processor and banged out The Dark One Cometh. I kept the log, and on my best days, or my worst days, I sat there with a blinking cursor and nothing coming out. But on my best day, I wrote 12 pages, and I had fingers of fury, man. And you know what? It just, I didn't have any kind of like script in my mind. I just poured it out.
Oh yeah, that's how it happens a lot of the time. What I absolutely love about this to see you're 7, you write your first vampire thing, your vampire story, you get your you said your bachelor's, and then you get your master's, and you're like, I just want to get this book written, and
Yeah.
I love it all. And one of my favorite parts that sticks out to me out of all that is you did the same thing that I did. That I don't know if you're a huge fan of him or not. I like his older stuff. You did the same thing that Stephen King did, and a lot of other writers do. You started in your basement.
I did not know that.
I normally write in my basement.
Okay.
And you do it in the basement, and it's like Stephen King did it in the boiler room of the trailer he was living in.
Okay.
And I always hear people like, you got to go in this. I don't know if your office is like dimly lit.
It is.
Yeah, that's how I write too. And it's like, I don't know if that's motivation for it, but I love that. The fact that you're like, I'm going to the basement, I'm going to pound out this. And you said like, you go out there, pound out 12 pages on a good day. And it's such a great feeling because when people ask you, and I don't know if you can relate to this, when people say, "Where'd you get the idea from?"
Hmm.
It's I don't know, but it was in my head. I don't know where I
Right.
got. A lot of the times I don't know where I got it from, but I had to get it out. It came into my brain, and I had to get it out. And this, you said it's called the something cometh, the dark man cometh,
The Dark One cometh.
dark one cometh.
Yes.
And that you said is about vampires.
No. The Dark One cometh is a dark apocalyptic um, work of fiction. It's about basically the end of times when a comet flies over Earth, in Earth's atmosphere, and every single pregnant woman in one night within 24 hours dies except one,
Oh,
Annette. And Annette is the sole survivor with the only pregnancy. But the pregnancy isn't a blessing, it's a curse. It's a question, it's a miracle. Not a miracle, but a question, should it be? And she believes firmly that it's not supposed to be. And so it's a question. And how the story developed for me, it started as a what if. What if you're the only two people as a husband and wife on earth that survived with the only pregnancy? What if now you think that pregnancy isn't a miracle, but instead, what do you do? And that's kind of where it grew for me.
I love it. The next thing I want to say, because I love everything. I love everything you're saying. This is what I love about this podcast, talking to people and just hearing their stories. And totally take this as a compliment. You look like a writer.
Okay.
You're in a basement that's dimly lit,
Yeah.
and it looks like how my basement looks. Like if I had people come over, I'd be like, "Honey, we got to get the basement cleaned up."
It's funny you should say that, because my wife was like, do not embarrass me. Clean that up. Don't let them see your background. I was like, oh, fuck. If they know anything, then if they're a writer,
Oh yeah,
this is what writers are bred from. I
we
know it.
don't always have time to clean. We have to write.
I really,
You've
it
got
doesn't.
the nice dress shirt on, but it's unbuttoned. You got a tank
It's got
top
holes
on.
in it,
You got the tank top on underneath.
and the messy hair.
Your hair's all messy, and you've got glasses, and you haven't shaved. That tells me you're a writer.
And the messy hair is part to blame because of the wind. Because I know I talked to you earlier. I was outside mowing my lawn and the gusty wind, and
Oh yeah.
I'm a regular guy that has lawn work to do.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's exactly the mundane things us writers have to do that
It just
are
it
you know.
doesn't go away.
Oh yeah, and like with me, it's what I find is like every time I work on a book, I only get to shave my face when my wife is like, "Hey, can you please go shave?" Or she's like, "I can't take it anymore," and I'm like, "Fine."
That's too funny.
It's just all the time. My
Uh,
my wife's always, because I'll tell her, I'll be like, "I'm not shaving till the book's written," and then
but
she's
you
like,
know what? I put I wrote The Dark One Cometh in 2001, and I was so stoked. I submitted it to a traditional publisher, like fresh off the LaserJet printer, and who the publisher immediately said rejected it. I was crushed, man. I'm telling you, I was so
"Yeah,
crushed. I actually cried, and I put it on a shelf, and I was like, you know what? Why was I given this what I think is a talent when it gets rejected? And I moved on to write four other books, start writing, which are in various forms of development. And then earlier in 2025, later in 2025, when I decided to move my writing area upstairs from the dungeon up into a vacant bedroom, and I discovered the manuscript still typed in the binder that I submitted it to. I blew off the dust and I started reading with fresh eyes. And I'm an avid horror reader, wannabe writer. I love it. Watching, and I started reading with fresh eyes, and I was like, wow, you know what? This is good. You know, if I would buy this book. So I threw caution to the wind and decided to become an indie publisher so I wouldn't get discouraged by any
Mhm.
kind of rejection. So I
Yep.
decided to become an indie publisher. And you know what, man? It is really a great idea that I did that, because on Goodreads currently, last time I checked, 18 perfect 5 out of 5 star rates
Oh
and
wow.
11 awesome written reviews. It's like gaining some serious traction.
Oh, that is great.
And my writer author page has like 586 followers, something like that. It's like
Not
I'm
bad.
not, yeah, I'm not even doing anything. It's just kind of doing it, just somehow spreading on its own, which I think is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. I'm happy to hear that. It's oh man, it's something else being a writer. It's
I love it.
I actually something that I've been thinking about because I saw a movie yesterday at the theater um called because my wife and I we go to the theater every Saturday and
Okay,
see a horror movie. We saw
nice.
this movie called Hokum.
Oh, I've heard of it, I think. Yeah.
Hokum. And the movie, the main lead is a writer in the movie. And he goes into this hotel to just write to finish one of his books. And while he's in the hotel, he hears the folklore of there's a witch in the honeymoon suite, and that's why the honeymoon suite's locked.
Okay.
I don't want to give anything away, but for anybody, it just came out like May 1st. Um, but yeah, it's what I love about it is there's a scene where the bellhop comes up to the guy and he's like, "I'm a writer too," and he says to him, he goes, "What are you wearing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm a bellhop." And he goes, I work as a bellhop." And he goes, "I thought you said you were a writer." And he goes, "Well, I am." And he goes, "No, you're a bellhop." And I thought, "Ow, that's mean." And and then he takes a fork on he takes a spoon, puts it on a flame while the guy's talking to him about books, and then he takes the spoon, puts it on the guy's hand, the bellhop's hand, and the bellhop's like, "Ow, you burnt me." And he goes, "If you want to make it as a writer in this world, you're gonna need tougher skin than that."
Oh boy.
And I thought, wow, but I also thought, how true is that?
It is really
You're
true.
gonna need to handle rejection, and the fact that you were able to, and you
Yes.
didn't give up right after getting rejection. Oh man, the rejection is
That
it's
that
worth
is
it.
really that's what made me shelve it, and it sat
Yeah.
there collecting dust for so long. But I'm glad I rediscovered it, and since now that it dropped in the end of November, it kind of reignited that flame for me to continue the story, and I came up with the perfect title. The sequel is titled capital Levi, Levi, colon Genesis of the Dark Angel. Yes, and Levi is an anagram. If you rearrange the letters, it spells
Oh, evil.
yeah, and
Oh, okay.
evil, vile, live, and if you put a D in front of it, devil. So that's all foretelling as to what the sequel is
I
all
gotta
about.
see this. Do you have it?
Do I have? I'm writing it. I
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's still a work in
Because I would
motion.
love to see how that looks like on a that you said that's the cover?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually developed because if you take Levi and you put a branch on each, like Lee L is live, and then E is evil, and then vile comes off of it, and it branches all down and ends up being devil, Genesis of the Dark Angel.
Oh, that's so good.
I just think it's such a telling, like it really
Yeah.
kind of gives you an idea where this is going.
I the book that I'm working on, the seventh book, It reminds me of the one you're doing
Okay.
because he probably I don't know if he'd want me to share this or not, but I think it's cool and I want you to see it. I where is it? Oh, here it is. This is the book cover currently that I'm this is the book I'm working on right now.
Okay, sisters.
Yeah. And I have gotten a lot of flack for the pentagram and the upside down cross.
Oh, okay.
I'm co-writing it with another author, and it's just the thing I love about book covers like yours. It's so telling, and that's like some people like I've had a few people say, "Oh, maybe you put too much because you got the upside down cross and the pentagram. They know what it's
Right.
about." And I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, they don't though."
But you know what? I've said this to other people. Like a title in itself will cause me to pick up and start reading and flip it over and then read the back. You know, the back page and
No.
something. I
Do you
get.
do you have I know that the your cover is on your Facebook page. Do you have the book with you? Because
Uh,
if you do, raise it up so everybody can see it who's gonna watch this.
I'd have a copy of it. It's in the other room with my wife watching TV.
I will pack it up for you
Uh-huh.
so that people can see the cover because I love the cover.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
But and not to get off track, but one of the other books that I've started is called The Spirit of Cyril, and this is the one that I think is going to truly put me on the map as a credible horror author.
This is this right here is James
Yeah.
Garnett's cover for The Dark One Cometh. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I love covers, man.
Absolutely.
The cover really it's haunting, which is awesome.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Seriously, it's I gotta say, it's validating after all of this time that it's sat, like I said, on a shelf since 2001, and to pick it up and read it and think, oh my God, I would buy this. But now that it's getting, solid Goodreads reports, and now I'm interviewing you about
Yeah,
this. You know what I mean? I got chills, man. Like seriously, it could have sat on a shelf forever and
yeah.
never been discovered.
I every t- I almost actually gave up doing the podcast because I thought nobody watched, and then I had a few people say like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "I've got like 20 people watch an episode
Uh,
normally," and I mean, the last one I think got like 65. I've had a few shoot up there, but I was like, I don't know. I'm like, am I really helping authors? And then I'm finding out other authors that I've had on here have bought books from different authors I've had on here too,
well,
because
you
they
know
discover.
what? It's good that you say that because now that I've experienced this with you, I've got like thousands of people as like followers, and my whole thing is about writing and authors and readers and that. I mean, that's all I have and I've got thousands of them. I put the word out there, man. You're gonna
Oh
get
yeah.
more traffic. I'll bet you money on
Oh, definitely.
it.
I
Yes,
uh
sir.
I hope you're planning book conventions too.
You know what? I am. I am. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I gotta cross that bridge when I come to
Now
it because
you live in Pennsylvania, right?
that's correct. Yeah.
Um that right there, Pennsylvania has a lot of book conventions every year.
Okay.
I'm going to be going to a few in the near future. I've got one though I'm going to in near New York City and another one in Maryland I'm going to, and then a few in my own hometown. Just this year, I went to one in Port Jervis, New York, in
Oh, okay.
February. That was my first one. That was a blast.
Oh yeah.
Tony, if you haven't been to a book convention yet, once you go, everybody there that's an author is so supportive and they
Okay.
will literally tell you about book conventions in the area coming up that you should sign up for, and people want to trade books with you to where they want yours and you can have one of theirs, and some people that are authors even want to buy your book. And
Okay.
it's just I don't know if every book convention's like this, but the one I went to, everyone that came by who was just, there to shop for books, they all had these author signature, like autograph booklets.
Right.
And the amount of people who show up and they have the autograph thing open to your name, and you're
Wow.
just like, oh wow. And they don't even know you, and they want
Right.
your autograph, and it's like, this is weird. Like
It's
it's I don't know.
surreal, right?
It's freaky. It's don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun. But it's the feeling of, like, I told this one girl, I said, "You want my autograph?" And she goes, "Well, you're an author." And I was just like, she's not wrong. I am an author. I do write books, and I try to sell them for money. So I'm like, it makes sense. But it's once you go and people, like, you sign a few autographs for people that you don't know, it's such a weird feeling, and, like, it's that feeling that's never, you can tell, is never going to get old.
Right. Oh, I just imagine,
Yeah.
like I said, well, do you have a favorite horror author that you've read?
My favorite, I was saying when I first started doing this, I was saying Frida McFadden, which is not really a horror. She's like a thriller author.
Okay.
Lately, though, I'm not into her as much as I was. My favorite, like, diehard author, though, is got to be Stephen King.
Oh,
His really his older work. I'm not into his newer stuff. I mean, I haven't really read his newer stuff, but I've heard he's been doing, like, crime mysteries or something like that. I've just been
yeah.
hearing he's not doing horror as much as he used to. And he was always my favorite, The Shining and stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
and those are my go-to books. But yeah, I'd say besides that, like right now, I'm reading a book called The Blood Oath by Celeste Ross. She's an independent author,
Oh,
and
gotta support those indie authors, man.
I've had her on here.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, I
That's
had her on
awesome.
here. And I had before her book, um I was reading a book called Surviving Winterland by an author, another indie author. They're actually a married couple. His name is Thomas Hunt. It's their pen names. So
Okay.
Celeste Ross and Thomas Hunt are actually married in real life. And I had him on here, and then he's like, "Hey, my wife's an author too." So I had her on here, and just them talking about their books. I just went on Amazon. I was like, I gotta buy them because I'm like, they sound so good. And
Yeah,
I've read both of them. Well, I'm about almost halfway through The Blood Oath, and I think it's great so far. But it's like, there's one by a woman named Sheldon Rhea, called "Don't Talk to Strangers." That's gonna be one of my next ones I buy. But
I've heard of that too.
yeah, but that's what I love about this, is that you find out about authors you never heard about.
Sure.
And while I do love big name authors, I really love indie authors who are still trying to make a name for themselves.
Uh-huh.
Because while I do think, you know how they say, when you were an indie author, or anybody who's new to their artistry, to where they're trying to make it, they're working their ass off, trying to really, put out their best work. I feel like that's when I'm going to read the person's best stuff.
I
Like,
agree.
and I'm not saying I think, because I think a lot of writers get better as they age, just because they come up with better stories and find better ways to tie stuff together. But I don't know, that hunger new authors have. It
Yeah.
just it shows in their books, and it's a great feeling. That's why I'm one of those people now. I'm like, I want to read the author that's got a day job, not the author that's,
Oh,
making $1 million a year. I'm like, I love those ones too, but I'm like, I want to read the ones who are, I'm friends with on Facebook.
right. Exactly. The struggling, just like you and I was out mowing the lawn today, and you
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
I
cleaned my
was,
house. I left church and I cleaned my house all the way up until I pretty much had to run a few errands, and then I started this. So it's my day has been I am a I work a manual labor job. I'm a garbage man.
Oh, get
So
out.
don't let the fancy hat fool you. I pick
Yeah.
up garbage for a living when I'm not writing.
Well, you know what? I got your back, man, because the two things that I've learned um, writing is write what you know. And so the
Yeah.
very beginning of The Dark One Cometh is my experience. I was a forklift and a clamp truck driver for decades. And so Marty is a forklift driver in a local factory, and Annette calls him and says, gets him worried that there's a problem with the baby, and that's where it starts running. But I took that exact, from my experience as a
Yeah.
forklift operator, to write what you know.
You know, it's crazy. I feel like I was meant to have you on
Yeah.
because this just ties it all together. I'm not going to get into it, but the book I'm co-writing, the main character is a forklift operator.
No, get out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a forklift operator. I love it.
That's
I
crazy. Oh, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel as a co-author? Like how is that working out for you?
It is there's days where it's extremely frustrating.
Uh,
Not like angry at the other author, but it's this feeling like you start off with this tiny idea and then you both start making it bigger. It was originally my idea and I presented it to him,
mhm.
and then he started getting ideas for my idea.
Okay.
And it became our idea, which I wanted to happen. Like our next, we do plan on eventually doing another book, and
Okay.
it's gonna be his idea.
Okay.
That then is gonna also become mine. But it's you make this book with the person, and the bigger the book gets, the harder it is to write
I imagine.
because you keep on they get ideas, and then you got to find something to match what they're doing, and then there's parts you got to cut, and some of the parts you got to cut are your own because they got something that's actually better than what you had, and so
Oh,
you got to cut your part or
I
they
see.
got to cut theirs. And it's like, how do I say it? It's the most fun I've ever had writing a book,
Oh, okay.
while also being the most frustrated. There's nights where I'll call him and I'll be like, "Hey, I don't even know what to write. Like, I am so stuck. I'm going through 200 some pages and I don't even know what to add."
Okay.
I'm like, and he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "We have all this bold text of stuff we want to fix." And I'm like, "I don't even know what to fix first because I forgot what chapter it's in.
Okay.
'Cause I didn't write the chapter." And I'm like, it's stuff like that to where him and I have put the chapters in the tabs on the Word document, so we can just click to a chapter if we got to get to it. We don't got to scroll to it.
I
And
see.
but yeah, it's if you're gonna write a book with somebody, make sure that you get along with them very well, because me and this kid Thomas, we get along like best friends, I think. And when we write a book, there's never been an argument between us while writing, while being, in these 200 some pages that we've got so far. It's been
No.
it's been a ball, but there are days where him and I are both like, "Hey, this part doesn't make sense.
Okay.
You got to cut it, or what are we gonna do with it?" And we both are thinking, and I'm like, "Damn, that was my idea."
Yeah.
Or I tell him, "Hey, this doesn't make any sense. You wrote this part. What are we doing with it?" And we got to think.
You gotta
And
kind of stow the ego, huh?
oh yeah, it kills your ego,
Uh,
but it's a lot of fun though. Like at the end of the day, I'm happy to be writing the book with him. But yeah, I like if you ever get a chance to collab with somebody, do it.
See, I have
Do
somewhat
it.
of a different take on it because I started the idea that it would be a good idea to collaborate with somebody. And I think I got a few pages in and I was like, not gonna happen.
Oh,
Because I have my style and my ideas, and you start
yeah.
changing it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a lone wolf.
How that's actually something I've one of my questions I wanted to ask you. I'm very happy you brought that up. How do you when you write, what's your process?
um I keep most of my ideas, and I have vivid, terrible nightmares. I keep a notebook right by my nightstand and a
Oh,
pen. And as I wake up sweat soaked, I I write them down when they're fresh. I have a pen light, and I just get up and write them down. So I've written down somewhere around 100 or more ideas to somehow develop into short stories or books or whatever. It's those, well, my brain just doesn't
oh
stop when I'm
wow.
sleeping. But my process for The Dark One Cometh was I just sat there, and as it came to me, I wrote it. There was no format at all. But since then, I purchased a writing software. I forget what it's called. I think it's oh my gosh, I would have to lower the screen, but it structures your writing in the sense that you start with a foundation and you build your characters and you build your timelines, and the story all kind of filters down into I have like eight 8 to 10, something like that, chapters outlined for a book that I started, The Spirit of Cyril.
Yeah.
And this is by far the one that I think is really going to put me on the map. And I wrote a single paragraph, and I'd like to read it just to see what you think.
Okay.
It starts, Cyril Stallworth was born the unexpected, unwanted bastard son to 15-year-old Priscilla Stallworth, who attempts to murder her newly born son, then dispose of his body before her religious zealot father learns she is impure. The start of Cyril's life becomes his first near-death experience, igniting a primal instinct to survive, fight, dominate, kill with ferocity so intense it blurs the boundary between man and beast. That's just one That's how I boiled that down into one paragraph.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've got me wanting to rewrite all my books.
But yeah, that's
that is, oh my god, that was really good. That's, you said is that the first page, or is that like the blurb on the back?
Yeah, I guess that could be. I think what was it called? It's supposed to be a log line, because I wanted to submit it to for a writing contest, and I had to develop a log line, which was a single paragraph describing, like, melting the book down into what it is, and that's what I came up with. But that's basically what the book is about.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I just, horror is my thing, man. It's just, I love it. I love it. I love reading it. I love writing it. And I get totally into, like, my characters. Like, I kind of live through them. I truly do. It's like when I was doing Cyril's just a little kid, who born into this thing, and his life or near death experiences awaken this power in him to control animals, and with each one that goes by, it grows in intensity, and he just turns into a killing machine, but he could use animals as his weapon. And it's just like, some of the scenes are so intense that as I'm writing them, like when he was a little kid and his grandma was killed by three basically drifters that were trying to be farmhands, and she's killed brutally in front of his eyes, and he goes berserk and kills all three of them. It's just, he was a little kid of maybe 7 years old, kills three grown men. It's just, it's an intense that when his grandmother dies, I was crying as I was writing, because he's like, he's holding her as she's dying, and her life is ebbing away, and he's begging her not to go. And I was like, I'm living through Cyril vicariously. It's just weird. I so have been meant to do this since I'm a little kid, and I absolutely love it, man. I do. And if nobody else does, I do. I love doing it.
I gotta tell you, and I mean this as a total compliment because I mean it about myself too. Us writers, we all belong in a fucking psych ward together.
It's so true. Honest to God, something I
Seriously.
don't know what I read about Stephen King. I think I wrote Stephen King on writing, how he described.
Yeah, I've read that.
And how he described how he doesn't remember writing Cujo because he was a blackout drunk. And he doesn't actually remember writing Cujo. He'd wake up and he'd have 40-ounce beers all over the place, and he wrote a masterpiece in Cujo. And I'm like, what, I had us writers, because I know I'm one, I like to have my beer when I'm sitting and writing, and I think some of my best stuff that I've written is when I was half in the bag. And for me, it's true. I don't know if it's true for all writers, but it's absolutely true.
My first 4 books, I was a full-blown alcoholic.
Oh yeah,
a pothead too. I was getting high all the time and drinking all the time. And I got some of my what I think is my best first 4 stories out.
No shit.
I wrote a 700-page novel with my wife.
Wow.
Called The Woman. And that I was stoned the whole time I wrote that book. And wow, when I go back, I think it's some of my best work. I don't advertise it enough, and it's because I don't know. My last 2 books, High School Hell and Christmas Fear, I take a lot of pride in those 2 books. I wrote those when I had gotten, off alcohol. I stopped smoking weed. I had my daughter, and I wrote those 2. And I don't know. There's it's not that they're better than the other 4. It's that I went through and revised High School Hell and Christmas Fear. I wrote it so recently that I don't feel anything's wrong with it. Like when I go through it, I'm like, it's a pretty twisted book.
Yeah.
I need to add some trigger warnings and stuff.
Oh.
Even though I've never been a trigger warning person.
Okay.
I've found the more I get into the writing community, people are like, you should put trigger warnings because you're going to make people turned off by you if you don't have those. Because if they go to read your stuff, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that. And they're like, if they go to read your stuff and it really offends them, like if there's there's sexual assault in a book and you don't put a trigger warning.
Okay.
I didn't realize how offended some people can get by that and just put off and not even want to read any of your books.
Wow.
And I found that if you do put trigger warnings and you let people know which ones don't have the trigger warnings, they will still buy the ones that don't have them.
Okay.
Even though they know you write books that have trigger warnings, they'll still read the ones that don't. And if they find out you didn't put the trigger warnings, they don't want to read any of your stuff.
Huh. It's funny you say that. It never really occurred to me because my sister-in-law bought The Dark One Cometh, and she was reading it. She's really religious. And honestly, it never occurred to me, but she was offended by some of the language.
Bless you. Oh,
bless you. And she was offended by some
I
of the
almost said bless you to myself.
Yeah.
I meant to say sorry.
But she was offended by some of the language. And like I said, it never occurred to me, but she was like, you don't have to say the F word. I was like, I'll keep that in mind for the next time I write. But I mean, to me, that's just
Oh, see,
normal.
me, I'm one of those people. I'm really strong into Christianity. I'm not a Catholic. I'm what you call somebody who I don't know. I think Catholics are a little too it's too strict. I go to a Wesleyan church, and they're just just keep God in your life, and they're a little bit more about the New Testament than they are about the Old Testament. They're very you know we don't judge anybody. That's God's decision. You don't judge people on what they do. You focus on yourself, which I love that.
Uh,
When I write my books, if my character is going to swear, they're going to swear. I always tell people, if because my grandmother, she's like, I don't like that you swear in your books, and I'm like, Grandma, I don't swear, and she's like, they're swearing in your books. I'm like, the characters swear. I don't decide. I truly do not. I don't know about you, but me as an author, when I'm writing a character, I let them go off and do their own things, and sometimes they swear.
yeah,
Sometimes they kill people. Sometimes
right, right,
sometimes they cheat and lie and steal, and it's human nature. And I'm not saying it's human nature to go kill and steal, but
right.
they're humans. Humans
You
do
know what?
those things.
It is so. I am so glad that we got this conversation because you're validating a whole lot of what I know. These are my traits. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my characters basically write themselves. I'm just the conduit, basically, to bring it to the screen. That's basically it. I don't know. I'm just some kind of like radio antenna. I'm getting these
Oh,
vibes. But yeah, something I want to say that my question to you was favorite author, and I've got a bunch of them. But this book right here, it's called
It's by Jack Ketchum.
Jack Ketchum, Offspring.
I've heard
Oh,
so much about Jack Ketchum.
oh my God, he's dead now, but he is.
Oh,
Oh my
I didn't know
God,
that.
dude,
That's a bummer.
he is so incredibly talented. But this book, The Offspring, man, it is a page turner from beginning to end. If you're a horror fan, whoo, that's the one.
I really want to get into James Patterson. I've heard
Okay,
a lot of stuff about him. I've never read any of his books. I've heard a
no,
lot of good stuff about him. I want to get into him. Um, I really want to get into H.P. Lovecraft.
okay, that's old.
Oh, I know. I really want to get into that just to see what it's like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I,
that's really old.
oh yeah, and I keep on hearing so many authors have mentioned the Dunwich Horror by
Okay,
H.P. Lovecraft, and I guess it's in like one of his books of short stories. But I'm like, I gotta read that. Just the
right.
name, the Dunwich Horror. It's
Mm.
like, what is that?
Yeah. Well,
Just
you
the
know what, dude? Now that you got my wheels spinning, I'm gonna have to buy one of your books and give it a read.
I
Honestly.
say if you don't have a weak stomach
Oh no, no, no. That's
and
fine.
you
I'm a horror through and through. Trust me. I'm
well
not into
it's
what is that called? Splatter punk. I'm not into that. No. But
so I want to give a brief explanation of what Christmas fear is.
okay.
Um, every line that you could imagine a person crossing is in Christmas fear.
Okay.
Um, like how most authors and readers say they will not touch on child SA
Uh-huh. Right.
that is in that book.
Okay.
It happens to the main character, and that pretty much um, sets the tone for the kind of person he's going to be, and how and
Oh, I see where you're going.
he's going to turn into a monster later in his life.
Wow, all stemming from that.
Yeah,
Wow, how many pages?
it's 400 pages,
Oh, okay, it's a long one.
and it is a I call it a bullet novel because I'm never going to write a second one of it. It's just I'm ending it with what and it's the ending of it is so sad, but also there's closure to the ending to where you feel like it couldn't have ended any other way.
Okay.
And the way it ends is just perfect. I cried right after I hit that last period. I started
Wow.
I started crying, and I showed my wife, and I'm like, I've been working on this book for 7 years. I
That is
I finished it before my daughter was born, and then 4 years after my daughter's born, I'm talking. I finally put it out,
ah
and I did so many revisions on it before I put it out. But yeah, it's Christmas Fear is that book where
okay.
if you don't like trigger warnings, and they that's there's too much, you get triggered easily, stay away from Christmas Fear. It's something else. If I told you, there's a scene where that same kid puts a flathead screwdriver in a man's asshole
Oh,
in a
okay.
in a cornfield.
Okay.
The guy deserves it if it helps. The guy totally deserves it. I think more should have happened to him. But yeah, it's just one of those. It's kind of like Die Hard. It's a Christmas. It is a Chris. It's like happens during Christmas, but I don't see it as a Christmas book. It's the guy's losing his mind, and it just happens to be Christmas time.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So another question I have for you is, now that we've done this podcast, is there a way I can get a copy of it? Or
Yeah,
is it only
absolutely.
ah
Yeah.
awesome.
I will send you the one that's not because I've got your email now.
Okay.
Uh, I will touch base on your address. I'll send it to your house. Um, you can Venmo, or I don't know if you use Venmo or what you do.
PayPal.
Um, PayPal, okay, and I can send it to you autographed and all that good stuff. And it's
Awesome.
not a trigger warning copy. I
No, I
get it.
don't care.
There's nothing about trigger warnings on it. I've got to
That's
start printing the new ones that have the trigger warnings for the next book convention in July. But
right.
yeah, you're gonna love it if you read it. It's just warped the whole way through. My editor was even like, "What are you thinking?" He's like, "I love the book," but he's like, You're gonna have there's gonna be people that love it and people that hate it."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, it's one of those books.
No,
But
I'm
I'm like,
not.
I wanted to do it one time.
I'm not easily offended, but no, I mean a copy of this podcast. Like, will you? What?
Oh, this should be up by sometime tomorrow.
Okay, and
I
I'll.
know.
Will
Oh,
I
on
be
you
able to
on YouTube.
like copy it so that I can keep it for
Oh, absolutely,
posterity? Okay,
absolutely. Yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna get it all tonight. I'm gonna get it all taken care of to where I normally have an intro that says "For the Love of Writing," and it's like a bookshelf that says it,
Okay,
and then then it shows us. I've just got to get it to where I got to upload it and all that stuff. Once I've done that, though, I don't know if I'll be able to send it to you first or put it on YouTube first, but either way, I will make sure to get you a copy of it. But
that
yeah,
sounds great.
it goes up on YouTube, and then I post it on my author page,
Okay,
and then
very-
everybody on there sees it too. So and normally within like the first couple days, it starts getting a lot of views. I love doing this,
that's
and
so awesome.
I don't even look at the views anymore because it I get anxiety about, oh, what if it doesn't get a lot of views? But a lot of the times they do, and it makes me really happy to see that, just because I want to see people get their work out.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Now,
And
now your stuff is available on Amazon.
you know what? My Amazon author account was terminated because my driver's license wouldn't scan to the account.
Oh,
Yeah, so they terminated and withheld all royalties earned. It was selling on the site, and it's still, I believe it might still be available, listed, selling on the site, but they won't pay any royalties to me because I can't get them to get my photo ID. It won't scan, but it's available on Barnes and Noble, Google Books, Kobo, Rakuten. It's available across multiple other sites, but the big one, Amazon, is giving it to me.
Oh
But
yeah, I know how that feels.
I want, what else did I want to say? Shit. I forgot. I'll remember as soon as I get off this
How
phone.
that's how it works.
Yeah, always, always. But
Oh yeah.
it's just it's really, it's validating. That's what I was going to say. That I've gotten unsolicited emails, just messages from big time writers. Two of them that I can remember off the top of my
Oh,
head.
be careful.
Why?
I will tell you why. Did they send you a picture of themselves?
No.
But they put like it's to where I want to see if I can find one because I get emails from big time authors all the time, and it pisses me off because um so I read Frida Mc. I'm trying to. I can't find it now. I read Frida McFadden's The Housemaid, and
Okay.
on the back of her book it says her email address for
Right.
anybody that wants to comment on her book and to just to because she's really into connecting with fans. So I emailed it and they got back to me. I don't know if it was her or her people got back to me. A few months later, I got an email from somebody saying they were Frida McFadden. They had all her information, a picture of her, and it was a different email than the one on the back of her book.
Okay.
And Dan Brown from I think he wrote the Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code. Yeah.
Dan Brown's emailed me. Stephen King's emailed me, and just
Wow.
none of them are real though. They are scam accounts that are going to try to get you to get into a package, most
Oh,
likely. So you got to be really careful with those.
well, the emails that I've gotten are that I can remember. Michael Crichton, um, I think he was Jurassic Park. He wrote, I think, I'm not sure. And I even said to him, I'm not familiar with your work. I've never read it. And he responded, well, don't feel bad. It's no big deal. I'm glad you'd say that you haven't read it, then say, oh, I love your work. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Um, Neil Gaiman is another one, and they all say New York Times bestsellers. And Neil
Yeah.
Gaiman,
Anytime you see that, and believe me, it's maybe they are emailing you. I'm not there to see it. I haven't seen the emails.
right?
All I know is if a big time author is emailing you, trust me, and I don't mean this in a mean way.
Oh,
They've got much bigger stuff to do than email a bunch of indie authors. It
honestly, I thought
sucks
the same thing.
because Peter Benchley, who made Jaws, like wrote
Jaws, yeah,
Jaws,
yeah, yeah. I read
I
that
got an
book.
email one time from him and I was ecstatic and I showed my wife and she goes, Rob, this is a bot email. And I was like, how do you know? And she's like, just look at it. He's not going to write all his information down, all his books, and then give you a whole blurb about yours. She's like, you think that the writer of Jaws is emailing you? And I'm like,
Right.
maybe. And then another author was like, dude, I hate to burst your bubble, but he's not emailing you. And I was
Wow.
like, what? The amount of emails I get in a day from people saying, you're a great author. I read this book by you. I search up their account and it's like they're somebody from Nigeria with a name I can't pronounce. And the background of their thing, it's so clear it's photoshopped and it's not even them.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you've been experiencing that a lot. I get a lot of emails and just comments on posts from people saying it's always hello, great author,
Okay.
and it drives me nuts. The amount of people I've had on here that happens to, the more you put your books out, there are going to be scammers that are going to really try to sell you packages. Anytime somebody tries to sell you a package, like an editing package,
Okay.
you really check into them because you have no idea how many people have tried to get my information. I've found my books on other sites charging more than I would have charged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I don't even know how they do that.
Uh, so who is your publisher? You're an indie publisher, correct?
Yeah, I go right through Amazon.
Oh,
Um,
through Amazon.
my editor, I met him through another author who he edited their stuff, and they said to me he is very, thorough about everything. He's going to edit your whole book before he asks for the money. And he, for 400 pages, it was about $500.
Okay.
And every other, editor I talked to said, 400 pages, I'm looking for four grand. And I'm
Ooh,
4 grand. And they're like a
yeah,
thousand.
that's good.
And they said, $1,000 for every 100 pages.
Mm,
Whereas he's like, just give me $500. He's like, and call it even. And
mm,
he did so much work on my book. He worked on my book for like 3 months straight and really just fine tuned it for me and really helped me through it.
and
And it
how,
was just nonstop him working with me. Like him and I were doing this, like we're doing every single day for multiple hours, just going through my book. So
uh,
that, yeah, and I at the end of it told my wife, I'm like, I feel comfortable giving him $500 for how much he's spent time like on this.
mm,
Like he's my editor for my next few books too. I've told him, I'm like, I'm signing a thing, an invisible paper saying you're my editor now.
nice.
Yeah, and he
And
would.
how do you like it from a sales standpoint? Like how is it working out, like sales wise?
It all depends on how much I advertise, and I try to advertise like crazy. I
Mm.
really find the best way. You got to connect with other authors
Oh,
and even read other authors' books and tell them about it and tag their book and try to become like friends with people in the writer community.
absolutely.
And just even if you see a book cover that you really like, share it to your page and be like, love this cover. Probably going to put it on my to be read, because next thing you know, they're going to be like, either they're going to be like, oh, thanks, that's awesome. Or they might even look at your books and do the same thing, because I have people share my books now and share this podcast. And in the beginning, I had zero sales. Now
Okay.
I've sold like 30 copies of High School Hell, and I only have 6 reviews on it on Amazon, but I've still like my reviews on Amazon are still like they're all 5 star, but there's
Yeah.
not a lot of reviews.
Okay.
And it's because people buy a book, and that I've got reviews on, I think I've got more reviews on Goodreads than I have on Amazon. But it's getting people to leave the reviews is the hard part. And
No,
it sounds like though you're doing good with that. So that's a good thing.
without a doubt. And
You just
without any, I mean, I really haven't done anything to promote it. That's done it on all on its own. And
yeah.
you know, right now it's 4.89 stars, but as of yesterday, I had one person give me less than 5-star rating. Everything was all 5-star ratings, and the written reviews are outstanding. I've actually printed them out and put them in a scrapbook because, I can't believe I've sat on this book for 21 years. It's been just sitting on a
I,
shelf.
I will say this, and this might not make any sense because it didn't to me when I first thought about it, and then I heard somebody else explain why. I found I would rather pick up a book that's got 4.5 stars and a bunch of ratings, but it's 4.5 stars than 5 stars.
Okay.
And it's because I have found that not everybody's going to like the book,
Yeah, exactly.
but the fact that it has 4.5 stars means somebody read it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they've got 20 reviews and a few of them in there are 4 stars, it means it could have been 3 stars.
Sure.
It could have been this book sucked, don't read it.
Yeah.
It just means they liked it, but this little part right here they probably didn't like, or they didn't like the ending. But if I see a book like all of mine have 5 stars and there's like 3 to 6 ratings, I tell people, be honest. If you think it's not in 5 star worthy, just put 4 or whatever you think. But yeah, I love it when it's like one book I read said 3.5 stars. I loved it.
Ah, that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you can guarantee now that probably as soon as I get off with you, I'm going on to Amazon and going to buy a copy of your book and read it. And honestly, and if you feel up to it, just go on and check out the reviews for what I've written on for the Dark One. Not what I've written, what I've had written about the book, and the ratings and the reviews, and make the decision for yourself, man, because the written reviews have been just like outstanding. I love it. I can't even believe it. It's validation.
Oh yeah, definitely. I loved having you on. You were a great guest, James.
Thank you so much, man. I'm
Absolutely.
so glad.
It's called The Dark One Cometh.
Yes, it is.
I will definitely be checking that out, and I will. You are now officially a new author friend, so it's great to.
You the man.
So thank you. Oh, you're the man, man. I thank you very much for your time.
I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you reached out, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
And you have my email, man. Keep in touch because I'm going to be writing more books.
Definitely. Thank you. I can't wait to have you on again.
I will definitely be on. No problem.
Everybody go check out James Garnett's The Dark One Cometh. And I cannot wait to have you on again. And I will definitely, I love it. Thank you so much again.
Not a problem, man. It's my thrill, my pleasure, honestly.
Thank you. Anyways, you have a good night, all right?
I certainly will. You too, man.
All right, bye.
Bye.